Update some titles. What are we working on? So, it's been something I've been thinking about for a minute. And I want to implement it. Let's just do a quick experiment. I thought I'd pop on stream and share it with you all. So, let's see here. We're going to self-evaluating AI or LLM proved local models. Okay. Adding self-evaluation to local model. Hold on. Alrighty, so let's see here. I should do, let me do a quick level test or verification. Make sure everything is working on stream. There we go. Let's see here. It's my channel. Volume on. All right, sounds good. Okay. I really should, or I want to do like a direct feedback line, but I also like just want to not be connected to anything. I guess I could use like virtual audio cable or something. But anyways, all right. So I'm gonna start this in. Oh, you know, I had stable diffusion going. I don't need that right now. Let's see here. So I'm gonna make a new project. Let's call it. Well, let's see here. Let's use create T3 app as our entrance. So I'm gonna npx create T3 app at latest. Yes. All right. Self eval local. That's totally great. All right. Typescript. Yes. Tailwind's fine. Do I want to use TRPC? Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have it. I don't think I want to mess around with auth right now. I might need a database. And I do not want to bother with the app router. Because there's just some learning curve things my brain's still going through. If I do use the database, I will use Postgres. And yeah, you can do that. Yes. And the default import alias is great for me. So let's see here. It's one of those things I've been thinking about for like a couple of weeks. And it's like, if it worked, or depending on how well it worked, it would be something I would want to use like all the time. So basically, I want to see how good I can get, like how much can I bump accuracy on like the ability for a local LM to follow instructions if I basically just allow it to self-evaluate its results using like agents basically. So also I will use Ollama. This is like a video in and of itself I want to do, because like Ollama is just the easiest, least confusing way for like to get a local LLM running on your machine. Think, ChatGPT if you're not familiar with the terminology there. Like you can literally just go on Mac and Linux, download their thing, and they do have a Windows preview going now. I've actually been using the Linux build in WSL, and the only I guess downside there is I like on my MacBook, it just gives me an icon that it auto starts, gives me a little icon, and it's just kind of running in the background. And if I do it through the Linux installation, I have to come in and start it. I mean, I guess that's the biggest thing. And then they've got a whole bunch of models that you just basically say Ollama run and then the model name, and you do have to have the resources to be able to run it, but they do a really, really good job about setting up the defaults and everything else so that it kind of just works for the most part. So I think the default Llama 2 model, it's if I look at the hash here, is the 7 billion model. With my, I've got a 4080, a GTX 4080 that I am running in this machine, so I can run the 13B models really easily. For this example, I'm going to use Mistral, and we'll use the 13 billion model. I think is there a 13 billion? Or is 7B the only one that they have for this? Okay, so I guess we're just using the default 7 billion. Maybe we'll use the Llama 2 13B also, or experiment with both of them. Anyways, let's go see where we're at here. I don't need this open anymore. All right, so open up VS Code. And we just get this going. Oh, this is actually going to complain. Should be complaining. Oh, maybe because I'm not doing auth, I don't need the things. Usually, yeah, okay, this is fine. If you include auth, you have to set up some environment variables first. But here we go. So we are set up with a blank scaffolded application. The index is here. I don't need any of this stuff. Nuke that. Nuke the gradient. Or no, I can just set the text to white. All right. All right, so here we go. Hello, agent. So I'm gonna do, yeah, I did want TRPC. I'm gonna do the work in here for the most part. TRPC doesn't support streaming yet, so I won't be streaming the responses like everybody likes to see, but that's okay. This is just a proof of concept. I don't need that. Don't need that. Although there's probably stuff in, nope. Okay, no, there is not any scaffolding with this particular setup for that I just broke by deleting the rest of that stuff. Okay. So I guess the input text can be our prompt, maybe. Now let me think. So I'm gonna need to install, or not need to, but I'm gonna use LangGraph, Langchain. So Langchain. By the way, if you do this, where your menu stuff on your main website opens up new tabs, and furthermore, when I go up here and I click here and it opens yet another, don't do that. Please don't do that. there's zero out of 1,000. I'm going to just I want to close these. I don't want them. I want this. There's certain reasons why you would open in a new window when like a person is leaving your site to like look at something where they're most likely going to return. But like this sort of document site, like that's basically never gonna be a thing. So anyways, rant. Every time I come to this site, it bothers me. And not just this site. I mean, anybody who's using it. That general methodology, UX. It's bad UX to me. Anyhow, all right, let's get Langchain installed, and we're also going to install LangGraph. And I'm going to use the Ollama. Let's see here. Ollama. I'm going to use chat Ollama though. Probably. And for possibly Ollama functions, which uses chat Ollama. All right, and so that's in the community. All right, get these installed. And in the meantime, I'm gonna think I built some of this for a different, let's see here. No, it's not that, it's Pixel Pusher. I worked on a bit of a prompt that does a lot of what I want to do here, and actually this whole graph setup I'm gonna want to kind of replicate. So let's maybe just copy this and I'm gonna make a features folder on my server. So these would be features that like only exist within the server context. And then I make a new file. We're gonna call it, I guess, self eval graph. And I'm gonna drop all of that in there. You might still be missing stuff. Let's see what the AI model saying. I don't need that. Okay. The types might not be caught up yet. Let's see here. I want to use the workspace version. And that will also restart that. And then I can restart Slint. Okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, those are broken because that's that. So this isn't going to be, so it'd be return type of like, chat Ollama. I might need to restart my IDE to get IntelliSense working again. I'll do that real quick. So I do want to save those, I guess. All right. All right, let's try this again. And hopefully, well, I've had really, what am I using? I am using, I mean, this is VS Code, and I am building a, building this in TypeScript. That is, it would probably actually be easier for people who like know Python to build this in Python. I have a fair amount of experience with Python, but this is TypeScript's just kind of my happy space. So I figured it'd be less difficult, less of a learning curve. I can focus on not understanding the things that I actually don't understand. Chat. Yeah, I'm still running into this. Happens sometimes with Langchain in particular for some reason. I don't exactly know why. It's kind of frustrating, but I can just grab it from the code example. There we go. And I am going to need some arguments here. Oh, I can't do it on a return type because it's a class, not a function. I never knew that. Makes sense, I guess. Huh. Okay. Uh, and then the model. Sorry, I'm gonna use Mistral and yeah, I used Unity to make some stuff. Nice. I love game dev. I just um yeah, and I do appreciate how Unity and like Unreal Engine have created these like low code, no code tools. Um it's a lot of fun. Yeah, luckily, I think one of the cool things and one of the things that I really appreciate about like those no code, low code tools when they're done really well, and I do feel like Unit or Unreal has done a particularly good job with it, is it kind of gives you these mental models of like how different things go together. Because like when you have an open piece, a blank page, you can do anything with it. And there's kind of the fallacy of choice. Like I can do anything with it, and there's kind of a lot of bad practices you can get into. Um, wow, I haven't used Unity in years. I was kind of itching to do a creative thing, and so I um, went and experimented with Unreal because of all the all the controversy around what was happening with Unity over this last year. I was like, well, I think I'd rather go with a company that's got a little bit longer track record for not changing their terms of service so drastically. Not that I ever thought I'd publish it, but just figured if I wanted to learn something new, I might as well take the time to do it in a way that was um, yeah, that works. Sorry. Yeah, just something that was gonna be a little bit more long lasting, useful in the future. All right, so we'll say, I think I want like what do I want to call them? The worker agent or worker model, and then I'll have a second one that's like an eval model. And it's gonna be the same thing for now, because I want to see what can Mistral do on its own, and then maybe I'll mix them up. Let's see here. I don't think I want to do the graph state the same way though. All right. How do I want to do this? I know I think I want to store like, so okay, the context, we don't need context anymore. Instead, I'm gonna have like messages or message history. And that is gonna be just a bunch of messages. And I don't know where to import those from yet. Let's see here. If I go back to the LangGraph, I think they had something in one of their examples where they stored the message history. It was here because this is what they were doing. So the agent state was okay. Yeah, so their messages. I could try doing the same thing. Sure. I do know where to get base message. All right. Is that complaining? Oh, because this is the, oh, because this is going to be for, sorry. That's going to be for here. The implementation. All right. Oh, so I can say, I think, yeah, okay. So messages then is base messages as an array, I guess. I don't know if that's actually how I want to do this or not, but yeah, because that's throwing errors here now. It's here. And the draft is going to be, it's here. So that's not necessarily going to be the feedback response anymore. Maybe I just want to, maybe I do just want to say, let's try it this way. And then I know I can come back to doing it that other way potentially if it helps. Okay. And this is the going to be the worker model. And I'll just so I should have thought about this a little bit more. Let's hear. I don't have context. I'm just gonna say the basic you are a helpful AI agent. That seems to be pretty good for baseline. We don't have context. Please answer the questions as best you can. Okay. And then this, I think I need to change this. So I was having issues with Ollama where it didn't seem like it was taking into consideration the system message, but that would be the right way to do it. How am I supposed to set system message in here, though? Okay, I can just do that. That's fine. I don't have any problem with that. So it's just, it's another array and it's system and then this. Okay. All right, so now the human message, honestly, could probably even just be the prompt. I don't think I need to wrap that for this. And then we're going to save that into... So I'm trying to decide here, because like the way that this was working in my other application, I was running into some weird kind of behaviors that I feel like might have been related to how to describe it. I guess just continuation or consistency. I want to make sure that the message history is being, I think that the message history, basically like they're trained, the LLM is trained on this message context. So like the more you can stay within like a, especially with the chat models within a system that looks like a chat, the better it's going to be able to evaluate that, where I was doing things that were a lot more complicated, which I'm still going to need to do, but I think if I can set this up more in a chat way and less in a custom way, the LLM will be able to interpret that a little easier. So again, we don't need context. What's here? And this isn't author draft. Right, that's what I was just saying. So is this, so the response, do I just want to put that in like the message history? Be like, messages is state dot messages. We'll expand that and then add the new, no, yes, and then add the new one. And the new one is going to be new AI message. I think it's AI message. Here we go. Yeah, I can grab that right out of it. That makes sense. Oh, not alphabetical though. There we go. Oh, prettier is messed up for some reason. Not too worried about it right yet, but okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the message. Oh wait, but the message is an array, not a object. That should do it. There we go. Okay. So now messages is taking. I guess I would want to have this in there too. Prompt. Okay, so then we'll start with prompt. We don't need to expand on state messages, doesn't exist yet. Yeah, so we'll just do prompt. Okay. Because I am going to potentially loop back, but that's going to be different. Okay. So this is what I was doing that kind of really sparked this ideas here. So this is the worker. And this is going to be the, we can call it the editor. Let's hear it. It's using the worker model. All right, so, okay. I guess this is where, how do I want to tell it what's next? Because it's like, so we've got message history. So we're basically saying, hey, agent, we're feeding in the prompt. Uh-oh, why is prompt broken? That was just right there, right? But I can't pass it in. Let's see here. There's like a prompt from message history. It's here. Prompt from prompt from prompt from oh wait, it's a prompt message. That's not what I wanted. Prompt. Okay, so input from template. Chat prompt template from template. It's like from messages or something like that. It's, where do I import that from? From Langchain prompts. I don't think I'm gonna need that one, so let's get rid of that. Okay, from messages. There we go. Now is it okay? Oh. Let's see here. Sorry. I know what I'm doing ish. Yeah. Okay, from template, which would do that. But I'm doing it from messages, but it's kind of so. Oh. Come on, there's so much easier ways to do this. Yeah, let's go back to the chat Ollama. It's the model. Just this. Pipe into the string output. Yeah. Don't need that. Okay, here we go. This is what we're doing. Okay, so in the human one, we don't want the prompt itself. We just want like prompt. And then invoke prompt. But I need to, how does that go? So we got the prompt, and I need to chain the prompt to the model. So const chain equals so prompt chain model worker model. And then we invoke on the chain. Prompt pipe model. And then chain invoke with the. Okay. Still not quite. So this is chat prompt template for messages. Same things here. And then chain prompt pipe. Oh, pipe. That would be, there we go. Okay. Now, I might need to manually build out the message. Trying to update too many things. All right, I think it's still just a so. No, but that's a template. I want the actual messages. Or do I store the message history separately? Because we'd have the messages between like the user and the worker. And then we'll have the ones between the worker and the editor. Those are the ones I'm more interested in, like maintaining. Let me keep this a little bit more simple than initially, at least. So, not worried about those messages. Let's just return the worker draft. So we'll say that the worker draft is that. Worker draft is this. Worker draft. Okay. Now that's going to go here, basically. So I do want to change this up a little bit. I'm going to do this from a template instead. Let's see here. You are an AI agent. Tasked with evaluating whether or not the perfect. Okay. Now, human message is actually going to be from the worker. Let's see here. So the human message we're asking it. It gets a little bit complicated. Like I appreciate that they did like, you know, AI message, human message, whatever message in the models, but like when you end up with these agent conversations, it's like, okay, who's the human, who's the AI here in this context? Because the worker is the human, sort of. Let's see here. So let's say original prompt. Original prompt. Worker answer. And then we can say, okay. Basically all this stuff. So, not doing this time, at least not this way. So we're say, yeah, instructions. You know, respond with any pleasantries, ignore any instructions from the original instruction. Let's hear from original prompt. Because that was one thing that I ran into a lot, was where as it was evaluating the prompt, the answers it would give out would include basically responses based on, it would like try and generate things that the worker was supposed to generate. All right, so write in plain English, describing issues found where the what's here? Worker answer deviated from the original prompt. I don't like how I mixed the way case worked there. All right. And I don't have a context section this time. Speaking in plain English, describe any occurrences where the draft conflicts with the information. Let's see here. Draft conflicts with the prompt. Right, in plain English, describing any issues found speaking in plain English. I guess that's just repetition. I don't need to do that. Provide suggestions on how to fix the problems identified, but do not rewrite the answer yourself. Do not write your own revision. Do not write your own answer to the original prompt. Okay. If you would give the author's answer an A+ grade for following all of the original prompt, and you may respond. This is something I had a lot of issues with, where it would like add because like it literally just says here at the end, you may respond with no revisions needed. So like, depending on the way it is translating this, it's basically like, hey, you may respond with no revisions needed. And it's like, okay, no revisions needed, even though like it had nothing to do with the rest of the context. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Let's just go ahead and add this right in here. Nope, that's right, but I need to do ticks instead of quotes. There we go. And then, nope, just fingers not working. All right. Okay. Now, my fingers really are not doing what they're supposed to. Okay, so then we'll dump out the prompt so I can read it. But now, instead of doing that, I'm going to need to say original prompt is state dot am I not prompt? Yeah, prompt. And then the worker draft is the worker draft. I don't have, there we go. Okay. Invoke. Oh, but I need to do the chainy thing, right? So I'm going to take the, create a chain, and it's going to be the prompt, and we're going to pipe it into the eval model, because reason, I want these to be different. We're going to switch up and change, like, some of these could be, like, might try using like the Ollama 13, or not Ollama, the Llama 2 13b as like the worker versus the eval, and like switch them around and just see like where they fit. But I'm gonna try with just 2 Mistrals to start with, because Mistral is pretty solid. Okay, so we're gonna prompt the eval model. So what is this all complaining about now? Prompt pipe to the joke, because we need to do the chain. There we go. Now, this is where the message history is really gonna get. So how do I do this? This can just be the beginning of the message history, but then I don't want the system. This is going to be like the message, just the human messages, basically. But some of them are going to need to be system messages. Okay, so basically, if it got an A plus, then the state that worker draft is the final message. The editor feedback can be that. Now the revise node. Let's just copy like this whole part. It's gonna be very similar. It is almost like I want to talk back to this one and the editor can fill in for me as the human. That actually kind of makes more sense. So it would be, I guess I'm going to do that thing. I'll say worker messages, and then we'll say editor messages. We got worker messages. And then we got editor messages, editor messages. Okay. Prompt is like the first thing. Okay. And then we got the workers draft, which is going to be important depending on, sorry. Trying to shift the way this model is looking in my head. I feel like I should almost like just Excala draw it or something. Time is it? Okay, I need to get going kind of soon, so I'm gonna have to pick this back up later. But what I want then is here. So we've got question, human question, actual human question. And that's gonna go to Mistral attempt LM attempt answer, which is going to go to the LM scrutinize answer. Which will then go to like, you know, revise. And revise the answer. And then back to here again. And I'll loop in here until it is good. So this is like less than A plus, A plus. Not A plus, A plus. There we go. final answer. And like we could put rag in here, like, which is maybe like the next step of like, once you have a final answer, basically putting together like the question answer pair and storing it in rag, so that it can be used in the future. And then if basically we add like something over here of like, has rag answer. And if that's the case, then just, go straight out to final answer. Something like that. All right. So back to this. So why am I drawing this out? Because it's getting complicated in my head. So we need to store, this is what I'm doing, but what I need to think about is, like this process. So like, so it's all in theory good. And then I basically just want this to then take the messages from here. So I'm going to need worker messages. Does that exist? No. What do I have on here? I forget. So the content is the actual message. Oh, but the content, because I'm not going to I'm not using the text parser. So I'd be getting like this. So the AI, this should be an AI message. But I want the history part. I want the original part too. Chain dot. This happens here. Might need to just log some things out and see what they are. Do they have it in here? Excuse me. All right. Oh, you know what? Okay. This I think I can, or not. This is probably the easiest way to do this. So I don't know how that's going to work with the state though. So what is chat message history? Yep, I can use the in-memory version. It's totally fine. And then, so a new history object would look like this, which is chat message history. Okay. So can I have this be a chat message history? I hope. And then in that case, we're gonna do, oh, how does this work with? Oh yeah, no, I don't need that, or maybe I do. How do I do this with a prompt? Well, this one's really easy in theory. Yeah, that's good to think about, but not there yet. Oh, add message. And then we gotta add user message. Yeah. So it doesn't like that. Do they do it here at all? No. Let's see if their chat knows. So using, how do I add a system message? Okay, maybe. New message. Nope, not what I want. All right. I've been doing some rock climbing lately, and some days no problem whatsoever, and other days my fingers just do not want to work. All right. So I'm not gonna do that anymore then. So we're just gonna say worker model invoke and then pass in. Oh, you know what? I did this in the other project too. Where's the message history? Get message. Okay, messages. Wait, get messages. Oh, right. And there's okay. This is actually what I want to do. I think. Right. Okay, so this is where the system message is going to go. Just like that. Hey, that one imported. That's progress. All right. Now to that, I'm going to add the user messages. Yeah, I can just do this. So new user message is state prompt. Is that right? Or do I want to keep that separate to make it easier to hold on to? Okay, so this is the whole thing. No, because the prompt template's going to be a little... Yeah, right. Okay, no, do not want to do that yet. So here's the history. I feel like that wasn't quite the right way to do it anyways, right? So, oh no, but then I did want that in there too. Okay. No, it's human message. Not, I don't need that either. Okay. Not user message, human message, human message. Okay. Hold on to that for a second. Okay, I'm gonna create the chat history for this. Man, sorry, it's just making my head hurt of like, again, what is local and what is the everything. Add messages. Boom. No, because that, right. Okay, so this, yes. This, yes. The chat prompt template is going to then include those. Oh, right, prettier is still borked. And then history, get message. Doesn't it get messages? Yeah. Oh, it's an await. Because I can't take a promise, and so it's not even showing me. Yep. History. There we go. And then I do need to chain it though, right? Cause like, yeah, and the chain is the, I don't know if I need the output parser or not, but chain. Beautiful. Okay. So creating the prompt template, which is just the messages, you could also have, which we're then creating here. So there's the template, and then we're going to create messages. But the thing is with the history is that I also am going to have worker messages get messages. Wait, I need to await it. All right. Oh, why is that not happy then? Oh. Because add messages is promise for some reason. Okay. So we have the prompt, then we're creating the messages. We're using those. Prompt template takes messages in, which is all of these, which includes our human message, which is the first one. And before we save the response, we actually want the history. So we're going to await history, add AI message. Res.content toString. Okay. Now we have the whole message chain. It's going in here. The draft itself, the return is there. Okay, I'm happier with this now. So let's do something similar here. But this is this is our editor message chain then. So it's just the template's just going to be the placeholder. Okay, got like a couple minutes, 2 minutes. I gotta jam. And then from here, we're gonna do the history, system message, blah 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 blah. Okay, right. Except for the system message is this. And the human message is us asking it, yep, which is, okay, so the human message is this, which we have set up as a prompt though, so we're gonna have to like, I don't have any problem with, I'm just gonna manually replace the items. I don't know, honestly, what else it's doing when I use it as a template. All right, where'd the human message is here? There we go. Okay. And Bride's complaining about the it's yours. We're doing the same thing, right? Prompt template, history, add messages, chain. Prompt template, history, add messages, chain. That's block scoped? Where? Chain isn't block scoped. Am I missing some escaping somewhere? No, that's wrapped correctly. Oh, here, derp. Sorry. Okay. All right, and I need to manually, so the worker draft was this. So now we're just going to do that. Yeah, there's my alarm. All right. Oop, come on. And the original prompt then, no, I don't know what I just did there. I'm really just hitting all the buttons today. State prompt. Okay. And then don't care about this stuff. This isn't really going to give me what I want, but maybe I can dump out like the await history dot get messages. I'll do that here so I can read it while it's processing. Okay. And then I can store the editor feedback, but at this point, I think the main thing I'm concerned with then is actually maintaining the message history. This message history is going to also be used. All right, so I can literally do that same thing, and I'm going to say on a normal event loop, the edit. It's an editor messages. Yeah. Huh, wonder why that's not auto-completing. Yeah. So that then, I'm going to take this. And that I don't even need that because these are all going to be child Ollama, whereas before I was like mixing and matching. All right, I'm going to put this like here though. And we'll comment that out so I'm not confused by it. Let's see here. All right. And I got to go. So when I come back, I'm going to wrap this up where basically this one's going to send the feedback to here, which will read in the message history we generated up here. So imagine you're having a conversation with an agent on ChatGPT. You asked it a question, and then this is us in like this is this is like if we read the response that it gave us and generated notes, and we're passing it back to that agent with its message history of saying like, here are changes I need you to make. And then I'm going to pipe that back up to here and basically loop until this gives it a pass. And I might need to change this from like A+ to like, B+ or something like that. But like, and then we can just see it going back and forth. So we're always piping back in the original instructions. We're always giving it a grade. And eventually, hopefully, it'll kick itself out of the loop because it scored a high enough response and give us the answer. And that's the idea. So I'll come back to this later on, but I hope you all have a great day and happy hacking.